Gabi-gabi niyo po akong sinamahan. At hindi niyo ako iniwan sa kahit anong laban. Kayo ang aking naging lakas at tapang. Kayo ang tunay kong tagapagtanggol. Maraming salamat po, mga kabatang Quiapo. Mahal na mahal ko po kayo.
What's up at welcome sa Pochoklak. Sa channel nito, mahilig akong sumuri ng mga relo ng mga kilalang personalidad at magbigay sa inyo ng masabot kayang alternatibo. Napaka-nostalgic ng panahon na ito para sa channel na Pochoklak. Kasi isang taon na since na-conceive ko yung idea na gumawa ng mga relo patungkol sa mga relo ng mga kilalang personalidad at sa pagbibigay ng mga mas abot kayang alternatibo. Ang hangarin po talaga ng channel na ito ay magpalawak ng kaalaman patungkol sa mga relo o mga wristwatches. At kaya naman, yung pinakaunang video na shoot ko ay patungkol sa mga relo ni Sir Coco Martin na siyang gumaganap bilang tanggol sa FPJs ang Batang Quiapo. Kaya ako talaga siya napili kasi nakita ko ang lakas ng appeal ng Batang Quiapo. Siyempre ako kasali na ako dyan. Yun nga lang, may halong kalungkutan doon dahil nagko-coincide sa anniversary ng channel na ito. Yung pagwawakas naman ng Batang Quiapo.
Mahal na mahal ko po kayo.
At bilang pagbibigay pugay kay Sir Coco Martin, minabuti ko na sa video nito, sumuri ng 7 sa mga relo na kanyang isinusuot. Bago po tayo magsimula, wrist check muna. Suot ko ngayon ng Argos Intervalum Consistence na bunga ng isang collaboration between Argos Philippines and De Guzman and Company. Those are both Filipino watch micro brands. Pag nag-drop na ang review na yan, para ma-notify kayo, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. And bukod po dyan, again, ipa-plug ko lang. Alam ko patok na patok ngayon yung Dubai Chewy Cookie. Kung interesado po kayo, please check out bakes.ph. Hindi na ako papaligoy-ligoy pa. Tara na! Dito sa unang relo ni Sir Coco Martin, ang kailangan nating tingnan, yung case niya muna, specifically yung hugis niya. Look at how bulky it is. Look at those crown guards na napaka-imposing ng dating. Let's then look at the dial na pag tinignan nyo, parang kulay itim siya. And it appears to have dive style markers and there are lots of text or lines of text above and below the center of the dial. Tapos tingnan natin yung bezel niya. It looks like an elapsed time bezel, something that we would typically see in a dive watch or a dive style watch, and it's colored black. Tapos pag tinignan natin yung style ng bracelet niya, it appears to have a 3-link bracelet, specifically in the oyster style. At dahil sa mga katangian na yan, tingin ko this is a Rolex Submariner 124060. Ang masasabi ko lang dito, what better way to start off an icons collection than with an icon as well in the Submariner, specifically the one with no date. Pinaka-paborito kong Submariner ito sa current lineup ng Rolex just because it doesn't have a date functionality and there's a symmetry of this watch that is not going to be seen in the likes of the Submariner Starbucks, for example. And the Submariner is just, sabi ko, an icon. For those who don't know, it's a dive watch. It's got 300 meters of water resistance and it's probably the most famous dive watch, even though it was not the first to market. Ang pinaka-nauna kasi would be the Blancpain 50 Fathoms, and it just didn't take off like the Submariner did, and that's why a lot of people perceive the Submariner to be the very first commercially available dive watch, even though that's not necessarily factual. One good thing that I would like to highlight about the Rolex Submariner is ang Rolex, they've already leveraged on the Submariner and they've used it as a platform for their many designs like the Yacht Master and the GMT Master, for example, that we'll be seeing later down the line. Spoiler alert. So, ang relo na ito, on the secondary market, I see it sell for up to 800,000 pesos. And this is a watch that I just see many people aiming for, especially this look. Ang ganda kasi talaga ng Submariner and this configuration. Although I think medyo super blingy na siya these days, it's still a pretty good looking watch. And so, natural lang na gusto nyo humanap ng alternative. Lalo na kung lodi nyo si Sir Coco, ang sinasuggest ko would be the Timex Harborside Coast Automatic. So, kaya ko ito nire-recommend because of the dive style and the black bezel and the dark color of the dial. Concession-wise, the finishing here will not be on the same level. The materials here, it's probably 316L stainless steel rather than 904L stainless steel on the Submariner. Tapos bukod dyan, the movement of the watch is going to be just a bit inferior to the Rolex, and the style of the bracelet here is the Jubilee style rather than the Oyster style, although one can argue that the Jubilee style is also one of Rolex's signature, so it's not necessarily going too far off what we're trying to aim for here. So ang relo na ito, it retails for 15,495 pesos, and I think this is just good value, lalo na kung nagsisimula pa lang kayo sa mechanical watches. This is a good mechanical piece to go for, and lagi ko nga sinasabi sa channel na ito kung gusto nyo magsuporta sa Filipino livelihoods, going with the Timex is a good choice kasi a lot of their models are made in the Philippines, and so you'd be helping out the Philippine economy and Filipino livelihoods. That's just an advocacy of mine. Sorry kung paulit-ulit ako doon. But if you want to go for this look, meron ding non-automatic variants ang Timex Harbor Side na mas affordable. But for this specific version, as an alternative to the 124060, hindi kayo magkakamali sa Timex na ito. Dito naman sa relo na ito, ang kailangan nating tingnan yung case shape niya. So parang kahugis siya nung Submariner kanina na tiningnan natin. And then the bezel of the watch, ang dating sa akin sa picture na ito, parang bicolored, black and blue yung bezel niyan. And then the dial color is black. And if you look at the bracelet, it's in the Jubilee style or the 5-link style. At dahil sa mga katangian na yan, tingin ko this is a Rolex GMT Master 2 reference 126710. BLNR, nicknamed the Batgirl. So may isa pang variant ang relo na ito with the Oyster style bracelet na polished yung center link niya. Ang tawag naman doon or ang nickname naman doon would be the Batman. And so we're looking specifically at the Batgirl here, and what I'd like to tell you about would be a bit of history about this watch. So in the 1950s, nakipag-partner ang Pan Am sa Rolex na gumawa ng isang relo na magagamit ng mga piloto nila. Especially with pilots, they cross multiple time zones all the time. So it would really help if they would be able to track their home time zone on top of probably 2 other time zones. Kaya naman nagkaroon ng Rolex GMT Master. So mapapansin nyo, yung bezel ng relo nito, sabi ko kanina it's bicolored black and blue. But if you ignore that and just look at the numbers here, there are 24-hour markings, and technically speaking, you can track up to 3 time zones with this GMT Master 2. And building on what I said earlier patungkol sa Submariner and how they're using that as a platform, you'll see that they look very similar apart from the bracelet na parang Jubilee style siya. And from across the room, you just look at the cases of these watches and you're probably going to mistake them for each other. So the last thing I'd like to highlight about this watch would be just the fact that the bezel is bicolored, black and blue. So the top half of the bezel, yung kulay itim, yan yung night half niya, and then the blue portion would be the day half. Kaya yung kulay niya na blue, it appears lighter, and they are trying to give you the impression that it's daytime para madaling tingnan if you're using the watch and maximizing its GMT capabilities. So, ang relo na ito, SRP is 708,500 pesos, but on the secondary market, I see it sell for up to 1.2 million pesos. When it comes to the alternative, I'm recommending the Seiko 5 Sports SSK003 na kung loadin nyo si Sir Coco ay napakagandang choice nito. Tingnan nyo sila side by side. They look quite similar, and I'll just point out the key differences here. So, mapapansin nyo yung dial ng relo na ito ay kulay blue instead of kulay black. Tapos tingnan nyo yung position ng crown, nasa bandang 4 o'clock yan as opposed to the 3 o'clock position on the GMT Master 2. Tapos tingnan nyo rin yung kulay ng GMT hand na it's red as opposed to blue on the Rolex. The movement on this watch will be inferior to the Rolex, especially when it comes to power reserve, accuracy, and beat rate. Tapos tingnan din natin yung finishing na medyo noticeable yan in hand when you have both of these watches. You're going to notice that the Rolex really is superior when it comes to finishing. And finally, the material here is 316L stainless steel as opposed to 904L stainless steel on the Rolex GMT Master 2. Pero retail price of this watch is 26,650 pesos. And for someone who has owned a watch from this series, yung kabatch nito, the one with the orange dial, I've already owned before. And I think these are just great watches, especially ako. I don't think that the collar style GMT is inferior to the traveler style GMT, because in my specific use case for my work, for family that I have abroad, the collar style would actually be more beneficial to myself. So kung trip nyo yung ganitong style ng relo, you have this good option from Seiko. And even though it's a lot cheaper, like sobrang fraction lang siya nung maximum secondary market selling price nung Batgirl, I think magandang option to. And kung mag-start off pa lang kayo sa mechanical pieces, this is a great way for you to start. Dito naman sa relong ito ni Sir Coco Martin, actually kamukha siya nung relo na tiningnan natin before this one, with the key differences being, first, yung position ng crown. So, yung position ng crown nito ay nasa 9 o'clock position yan, kaya medyo weird. Pati syempre yung Cyclops niya is also at the 9 o'clock position. Tapos yung kulay din ng bezel nito, na bicolored black and green naman instead of blue earlier. At dahil sa mga katangian na yan, tingin ko this sa Rolex GMT Master 2. Reference 126720 VTNR. So, ang relo na ito, yun, variant siya ng GMT Master 2 na medyo divisive siya when it came out, kasi parang ang weird nung configuration niya with it being a left-hand drive watch na yung crown ay nasa 9 o'clock position, pati yung date nasa 9 o'clock position. And even though I'm a fan of the color, I'm just not a fan of how this was executed. I thought it was lazy on the part of Rolex. They've actually doubled down on this collection. They have a more prestigious version na parang ceramic yata yung dial. And so, this is a watch that I am not a fan of because of how it's styled. But on the secondary market, I see it sell for up to 1.1 million pesos. And since we're on this track na nagbibigay ng alternatives, the alternative I have for you would be the SSK 035K1. Practically for the same reasons that I gave the SSK 03 as an alternative to the Batgirl. So, yung Sprite colorway, I think the SSK 035 is the solution for that. Just be aware of the key differences, like the dial color, which is green here, the placement of the crown and the date, and the GMT hand, which is yellow/gold in this specific watch, but green on the Rolex. Same retail price, 26,650 as the SSK 003. And this watch line, the SKX GMT line, is one of the more ubiquitous watches these days. I see it on the wrists of many enthusiasts and non-enthusiasts. And so, I think this is just something that if you wear, you can be proud of. The brand has good heritage, and this is just a good-looking watch overall. Sa relo na ito ni Sir Coco Martin, ang kailangan nating tingnan yung kulay ng dial niya na kulay itim. And then let's look at the layout of the numerals on this watch in their specific position. So, at the 12 o'clock position, mapapansin nyo may triangle dyan. And then if you look at the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11 positions, makita nyo yung Arabic numerals na nagko-correspond doon. And then you look at the 3 o'clock position, there's a date there. And the 9 and 6 o'clock positions are blank. At dahil sa mga katangian na yan, tingin ko this is an IWC Mark 16. So, ang tawag sa estilo ng watch na ito ay Flieger style. Today, ang tawag ng IWC dyan is Pilot style. And they're well known for this style kasi isa sila sa mga 5 watch brand na nag-supply ng mga pilot's watch or Fliegers sa mga piloto ng German Air Force noong World War II. Yung Flieger style ng watches, it's very important to note na ang key characteristic niyan, ang pinaka-importante na katangian niyan, ay high legibility. Yung tipo ng isang tingin pa lang, malalaman mo na kagad kung ano yung oras. And that was very important when coordinating attacks. And when I look at this watch and that specific use case, it's then become very interesting looking back at how the GMT Master 2 from Rolex turned out. That's also a pilot's watch. Yun nga lang, nag-iba na yung silbi niya or yung gamit niya kasi ginagamit na siya ng mga pilots moving around time zones. While this one is specifically focused on coordinated attacks, that one, the GMT Master 2, was already leading towards globalization, and I think it's a beautiful thing, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to do with this channel, making you guys appreciate that just a little bit more. So ang specific na relo na ito, it sells on the secondary market for up to 200,000 pesos, and that would be your only option kasi discontinued na ang relo na ito. So when we have to think of alternatives, lalo na kung idol nyo si Sir Coco, I'm proposing the Laco Augsburg in 39mm, na kaya ko pinopropose. Number one would be Heritage. So sabi ko kanina, IWC was one of 5 watch brands to supply the German Air Force with these Flieger-style watches, and Laco was one of those brands. Laco has an interesting catalog, and this specific watch that I'm recommending to you is from their entry level. And they're using movements here that are Japanese, specifically Miyotas, but I think they're good value for money. Kasi visually, you can see that they're very similar. If you prefer the bracelet here, baka nga mas magustuhan nyo to yung style ng relo na ito. The dial format is very similar, although yung Laco, it's a bit more pure, a bit more true to that Flieger style dial, which they are calling the Type A, kasi dalawang klase ito. This one specifically is the Type A layout. And then concession-wise, the movement and the finishing will not be quite on the same level. But history-wise, this is a good watch. Lalo na its retail price is cheaper than the IWC. Ang relong ito, it retails for 370 euros, and in Philippine peso terms, that's 25,000 pesos plus shipping, taxes, and duties pa kasi we would have to import. But man, this Laco Augsburg just looks very good, looks very close to the IWC. And that's why personally I haven't been able to justify getting an IWC, because I can get so much value from Laco. And with that history, it's difficult to ignore. Dito sa relo na ito ni Sir Coco, ang kailangan nating tingnan, una yung kulay niya. So, it's got this all black look. The case is black, the bezel is black, the dial is black, the strap is black. Even the markers look like they're black. Tapos, tingnan natin yung size niya. It's got this imposing size on the wrist of Sir Coco. And then, yung pinaka giveaway for me would be, if you look at the 10 o'clock position, may makikita kayong nagsistick out dyan, parang kabute. Hindi crown yan, kasi meron ng crown sa 3 o'clock position eh. At dahil sa mga katangin natin, this is an Omega Seamaster 300M. So the Omega Seamaster 300M, it debuted on the wrist of Pierce Brosnan when he was acting as James Bond on his very first James Bond film, GoldenEye, na nirelease noong 1995. And since that time, the Omega Seamaster 300M has already been associated with James Bond. In fact, in the last movie, the No Time to Die, na si Daniel Craig naman ang gumanap, that was also the latest version of the Omega Seamaster 300M, and he was even involved in the design of that watch. Ngayon, ang relo na ito, it's actually bigger than your standard Seamaster, which measures at 42 millimeters across. And it's important to note here that it's got a ceramic case that will make this watch very scratch resistant. And when we look at Rolex and Omega, that's actually one of the things I respect about Omega. They really play around with their materials. There are a ton of variations of the Omega Seamaster, and this is just one of them. On the secondary market, nakikita ko ang relo na ito selling for up to 69,900 Danish krona. In Philippine peso terms, yun ay nasa mga 650,000 pesos. Pero plus shipping, taxes, and duties pa. Kasi kailangan nyo mag-import. Wala akong nakikita masyado ng relo na ito dito sa Pilipinas eh. At dahil nga wala dito, kailangan nyo mag-isip ng alternative kung idol nyo si Sir Coco. At nire-recommend ko ang Seiko SRPL 1.5 na kaya ko nire-recommend because of the all-black look and the diving capabilities. Concession-wise, kailangan nyo tingnan yung indices ng relong ito. Black yan doon sa Omega. Dito parang color beige siya, and I'm really a fan of this look. Ang size din ito, it's a bit smaller. The movement will be a bit inferior. Finishing will not be the same. And very important to note, the case material na ceramic doon sa Omega, dito stainless steel but it's PVT coated to achieve that black color. However, when you look at the price of this watch, at retail, 31,350 pesos. And normally, if you walk into Seiko stores like at Tokyo or Seiko boutiques, you can get a discount if you pay in cash especially, or if you pay with credit card pero straight. So ang relo na ito, at this price point, ang angas niyang tingnan, ang ganda niyang tingnan. Comparing it to the Omega, I actually prefer it because of the color of the indices, and so I'm just a fan of this watch. It's more legible than the Omega. Kaya ang gandang choice ng relo na ito at napakaangas ng dating. Dito naman sa relo na ito ni Sir Coco, ang kailangan nating tingnan, yung case niya muna. So una yung shape, parang cushion shaped siya, parang unan. Tapos pag tingnan natin yung size niya, parang ang laki-laki niya sa wrist ni Sir Coco. Tapos tingnan natin yung strap, it's got this brown leather alligator strap. And it's got cream colored stitching. At dahil sa mga katangin natin dito sa Panerai Luminor PAM 1320. So ang relo na ito is from the brand Panerai, and Panerai is something that appears from time to time sa channel na ito. And like the Submariner, it's actually a watch that is suited for underwater use. In fact, Panerai watches were used in the war by Italian frogmen, if I'm not mistaken. And to me, napaka-interesting. Sir Coco has these watches that have history with war. At ang relo na ito, it's got GMT functionality, which is something that I do not really see with Panerais. And it sells on the secondary market for up to $7,150. In Philippine peso terms, yan ay nasa mga 430,000 pesos. And I don't see it all that often here, kaya I would have to import, so plus shipping, taxes, and duties pa. So kung gusto niyo yung ganitong klaseng itsura, I'm recommending the Gekota Pioneer Classic Edition as an alternative, primarily because of the cushion style case and the brown strap. Dito yung kulay ng dial screen. Concession wise, there's not a lot here. The GMT function is not present though, and the movement quality here will not be on the same level. But I think this is a pretty good looking watch. Mas malit nga lang siya by 2.5 millimeters. This watch, the Gekota, it sells for 33,300 pesos sa website ng Gekota. Ang Gekota isa yung micro brand din, and they've got watches that I think have good value. Yun nga lang, on top of the 33,300, kinakailangan nyo magbayad ng additional shipping, taxes, and duties. But still, for the price and for the look, I think this is good value for money, especially with this lovely green dial. Dito sa relo na ito ni Sir Coco, ang kailangan nating tingnan, the case shape na parang barrel-ish siya. Tapos may pushers din sa side. Tapos pag tinignan nyo yung bezel, parang circular siya. And let's look at the peculiar connection as well of the strap and the case. Tapos pag tinignan nyo yung dial, parang skeletonized yung style niya kasi medyo chaotic yung display. But you can clearly see the number 6, 8, 10, and 12. And there are sub-dials on this watch. And then if you look at the close to the 12 o'clock position, may makita kayong parang red na accent dyan. At dahil sa mga katangin natin, ito an Hublot Big Bang Unico Titanium. So, Hublot as a brand is not very well received by watch enthusiasts. Probably because of how watch enthusiasts think they're not getting a lot of value for these watches, especially at retail. And when you buy these watches, they take an immediate hit. They immediately dip. And when you sell them, immediately you lose about half of what you paid for. But still, don't let that deter you from liking Hublot's designs. There's a reason that a lot of people still buy this watch, and I think there is a case for a lot of people liking this watch, lalo na ini-endorse din ni Cristiano Ronaldo. Lagi ko kasi sinasabi sa channel nito, buy what you like, especially when it comes to watches. When it comes to these things, it boils down to the designs. We can talk about the movement all day, but people immediately see the design and whether they like it or not. And for people who love Hublot's designs, I very much respect that opinion. So ang relo na ito on the secondary market, I see it sell for up to 500,000 pesos. Comparing that to the retail price of this watch dito sa Pilipinas, halos 1.3 million eh. Nagtanong kasi ako the other day. And I think that's just a testament to the perceived value of these watches. But still, again, kung trip nyo yung itsura, but you're free to wear whatever you like. Alternative-wise, I'm going with the Casio Edifice Sospensione. Ilalagay ko na lang yung reference dito kasi medyo mahaba-haba. I'm choosing because of the chronograph style and just the overall cool look of this watch. And this watch, it retails for 11,090 pesos. That's good value for money. And a lot of wristwatch enthusiasts will tell you they prefer Casio to Hublot. So kung trip nyo yung ganitong klaseng itsura, this Casio is a good choice for you. Ayun! Nakita na tayo ng 7 sa mga relo na sinusuot ni Sir Coco Martin. At ang mga relong ito, kung tama aking guess kung ano sila, base sa kanilang mga katangian, kung bibilhin nyo sila today, maaari kayong abutin ng humigit kumulang 5 million pesos. And my view on this collection, I think it's a pretty varied collection. Medyo malaki yung focus niya sa mga Rolexes. Pero may mga accent pieces like the IWC Flieger, like the Panerai, like the Hublot, like the Omega. And I think these are good companion pieces to a formidable Rolex core. Ang pinapaboritong relo na tiningnan natin sa video na ito, ang Rolex GMT Master 2126-710 BLNR, nicknamed The Batgirl. Alam niyo naman sa channel na ito, pinakapaborito ko talagang complication on GMT. And when it comes to the color of the bicolored bezel here, the black and the blue, it's something really lovely and it's really something that I am going after. It's probably a step that I'm going to take in my watch collecting journey, although medyo malayo-layo pa po tayo dyan. Doon naman tayo sa alternatives. Ang pinaka-paborito ko naman doon, syempre the alternative for the watch, the Seiko SSK 003. Yan ay dahil sa GMT complication, I'm really a fan of the combination of the bicolored black and blue bezel. Yun nga lang, blue yung dial and the GMT hand is red. Pero opinion ko lang po yan. Kung iba po ang inyong opinion, kung tingin nyo meron pang ibang relo na mas angkop bilang alternative, let me know in the comment section down below. Kung nagustuhan nyo yung video nito, please hit the like button. At kung trip nyo yung ganitong klaseng content, watch reviews, pagsuri sa mga relo ng mga kilalang personalidad, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat sa oras ng panonood. Laters, yo!